you. Make I go love you, Jaja, Jaja, Jaja. Make I go love you, tender, 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 tender. Make I go love you, Jaja, Jaja, Jaja. Make I go love you, tender, tender, oh, tender, oh. My love, the eternal, eternally.
Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. The conversation continues as we're speaking about erasing poverty with my pen. It's a spoken word competition happening this year and is part of the continued move with the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services. In studio with us this morning, we have Stephanie Balchan, Research Specialist 2 in the Social Investigation Division. Good morning, Stephanie, and welcome.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you with us on the show this morning. Looking forward to this conversation.
Yes, thanks.
It's a transformational competition, and I think one of the first things we need to touch on is what inspired this tagline of erasing poverty with my pen.
Hi, thanks. So we understand that our young people, they have a lot to express, a lot to say, and we wanted them to use their knowledge, use their research skills, to use what they are doing in school, what they are learning, and express how they believe poverty could be eradicated. It is the first sustainable development goal in the United Nations Vision 2030, right? And we have aligned our national vision to that as well. And it's also to ensure that our young people know that they are global players. It's not just Trinidad and Tobago. This is a global problem. And it's to sensitize them so they will understand, you know, I have a say in what happens and I can understand what's going on around me and I can empathize with persons as well.
Right.
Okay.
I like that you talk about being a global player.
Yes.
It means that the theme itself, the overall theme, appeals to everyone.
Yes.
But let's talk about the mechanics of the competition
Right.
itself. Is there criteria like making sure that there is mention of other countries or anything of the sort that competitors should be aware of?
So I'm glad you asked that. There is the criteria of being 14 to 18 years and a citizen or resident of Trinidad and Tobago.
Takes me out.
They, all of us, but we can hope. So the other thing that the young persons have to be aware of is they are looking at Trinidad and Tobago and what can be done and what they would like to see to reduce poverty, because poverty is multidimensional. It's not just about not having enough income. There are persons who don't have access to education that could cause poverty. There are persons who inherit generational poverty.
Right.
They are born into a situation they have no control over. Also, they have lack of access to resources such as water, right, electricity. So there are so many areas that our young people could look at. And while we do have initiatives in Trinidad and Tobago, we have to remember that we're all not going to be here forever. So this is an opportunity for young people to decide what they would like to see as well as what is existing, to make them also understand what is available to help persons. Additionally, the video cannot be longer than 4 minutes. We would prefer that it's in landscape format. And we all know that not all of us have ring lights. We are all not social media stars, but the sun shines brightly in Trinidad and Tobago.
That is right.
So you can use natural lighting, okay? And remember that it's a spoken word competition. So while you would write your poetry or whatever you would like to express, you have to perform to your camera. Your camera is your audience. You may not have a group of people in front of you, but sell what you are saying. Use your body, use your tone, use your language to really convey your point, because the theme of this is eradicating poverty in all forms, right? Because that is the first sustainable development goal. And we really have to pay attention to what is going on around us, and it will also cause our young people to observe what's happening, because not everybody is at the same level.
Right.
So we helping them open their eyes, observe.
Perspective. Now that tells me, in terms of the specifics, time, the way that it's being featured, it's something that is intended to be shared, I hope, perhaps on a platform like the social media platform of the
Right.
ministry.
So when the persons win, we would get the necessary permissions, etc., from parents, because some people might be under 18 years, so we
Right.
will have to do the necessary. And we would want to highlight our young persons because we believe they have a lot to say. We believe that there are positive things about our young people, and we know that they have a voice and they are smarter than we think they are.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely. So we just went through the guidelines, but let's
Sure.
talk about the judging criteria.
Sure.
What is the judging criteria for?
So the judging criteria will be based on the topic, how well they understand it, their diction. So you can speak in dialect, there's no problem, but remember, as a performer, your audience has to understand where you are coming from, not just with your words, but your intention. So when you're performing, it's all the technical aspects of how well they could hear you. So try to minimize background noise. I know a lot of us cannot help where we live, but this is also an opportunity to get the village involved. So schools that have drama rooms, that have audio visual, they can help their students with that, because we are all working together. And while the ages are 14 to 18, it doesn't stop persons from giving the young people the resources to succeed. They are doing the work themselves, but they could be coached. I know we have excellent teachers in our education system who have a passion for creativity and drama. They could also add to this product. And also parents and guardians. We have talented parents and guardians, right? We might be old, but we can do things. We can do things, okay? I might be old, but we could pour into our young people.
Absolutely.
Another part of the judging criteria is using literary devices. So they would have to understand how to use something to draw out what they are saying from what is around them. And in Trinidad, we are very colorful, Trinidad and Tobago.
Of course.
We love to use very beautiful examples to highlight things, right? So I know that we have that on our side for our young persons to really bring out their culture, bring out their flavor with this competition.
All right, so we've got the criteria, but what are they winning, Stephanie?
Okay, so tablets, stationery, vouchers. Yes, it's
nice.
very attractive.
I know.
And how do they register or get on board? What are the details we need? Because we have a deadline of March 15th,
Yes.
So how do we register?
So there is no registration per se. You just have to be between the ages of 14 to 18 and a resident or citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. But you have to submit to the email. It's sid@social.gov.tt, and information can be found on Ministry of Social Development's Facebook page and website, www.social.gov.tt. That's the official website. And there's a nice flyer on the website where they could look at the deadline information. And it's important as well for the young persons to know that the maximum time is 4 minutes. So it could be less than 4 minutes. We're just giving them a maximum, right? So that they will, if they have a lot to say, they could have
Get the message out in 2 minutes, and that's fine.
Right. So it could be shorter. Nobody's forcing, because we understand videos are a lot of work to produce, and we don't want to pressure them unnecessarily.
Yeah, definitely. So from this, of course, we're looking at moving towards the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030.
Yes.
And it's so important that we include the youth. Do you think coming up we're going to see more initiatives like this to ensure that we see that collaboration with the youth and with the community?
I believe so, because the director of SID is a young person, right? And we are seeing that the ministry is willing to have young persons within the organization itself to help form policy, to guide decisions. And it's important for our young persons to know that they have a voice. So we will be looking into these types of initiatives, and we have visited a few schools. Ministry of Education was very kind to assist us with that. So we got persons excited.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
We are excited on behalf of all the participants you're going to receive as they have a March 15th deadline, 4 p.m. Be sure to submit those videos, no more than 4 minutes, for your chance to help erase poverty with your pen. Stephanie, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
In your capacity of Research Specialist 2 at the Social Investigation Division. And best of luck to all of the performers who will be entering that competition for their chance to win tablets and so much more as we do our part. Ladies and gentlemen, it's in our morning show. You want to hear more? Then stick around. We'll be back.